Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program, Capital Beat. The execution of Nimisha Priya has been postponed with hectic parleys underway in Yemen in a last-ditch effort to save the nurse from Kerala who was sentenced to death by local authorities for killing a man who was harassing her. Now, Ms. Priya's execution was scheduled for tomorrow, but it has now emerged that the murdered man's family has been convinced to postpone it at least for tomorrow. This does not mean she would be released or sent back to India. She is currently in Sana'a, the Houthi held capital of Yemen. India does not have any diplomatic relations with the Houthi rebels. The Indian government had asserted yesterday that it had done everything within its limits to stop the execution, suggesting blood money is likely the last option that Miss Priya can avail to evade death. So, what's happening on this particular case? What are the latest developments? Joining me this evening are a very special panel of guests. Subhash Chandran, who's Nimisha Priya's lawyer, joins us. Subhash, thank you so much for joining. We have Dr. Aftab Kamal Pasha, international affairs expert and diplomat. Thank you, sir, so much for joining. We have Sanjay Kapoor, who's a veteran journalist and international affairs expert and author. Thank you so much for joining. And I'll begin with Subhash Chandran. Subhash, is this news correct that the execution of Nimisha Priya has been postponed by a day, which all the TV channels are reporting? What are you hearing?
Nilu, yes, it's confirmed, and now we have got the official order from the Yemeni administration postponing Nimisha Priya's execution until further orders, not for tomorrow. It's until further orders. So now the execution is postponed until further orders, and it's confirmed by the Yemeni administration. We got the order also, which is in Arabic language, and we got it translated to English. And this is the order signed by a judicial officer in Yemen, and which says that which is scheduled for tomorrow on 16th of July is postponed until further orders. So that is
now
confirmed.
when you say until further orders, so what does it mean? Is the court going to come up with the next order, or are the Yemeni authorities going to order? What does it mean until further orders?
So now that will have to confirm from our counterparts there who are leading the negotiations there. But we got this order, and which is in Arabic language. So we will have to discuss with them very just 2 hours before we got this order. First, we got the orally this information from our counterparts who are leading the negotiation, and thereafter we got the order also officially. So now we will be communicating the negotiators there who are leading this negotiation process, who are helping us to get in touch with the victim's family. And we will anyway, we got everything time now, and actually we were having very much pressure as the scheduled sentence, the sentence is scheduled for tomorrow. So now we have enough time to convince the family, to discuss with the family, to meet the family, and have the negotiation with the family. So we will be planning our strategy further in our further meetings.
But the negotiation with the family, as far as the blood money is concerned, has been happening for quite some time. Now that you're saying that there are official orders regarding the postponement of the execution, do you think that Mr. Mahdi's family will accept the blood money, and Nimisha Priya will be saved from going to the gallows? Are you hopeful that Mr. Mahdi's family will accept the blood money?
So Nilu, actually, Mahdi's brother, the victim's brother, came to the negotiation table yesterday only. The official negotiation with the family started yesterday only. Yes, there were some communications with the negotiators, some tribal leaders there, but the family didn't turn up for the negotiation process till yesterday. And yesterday, the senior-most Yemeni officers, administration leaders, and some religious leaders, they sat together with Mahdi's brother, and they were having discussions till yesterday late night. And today morning also, again, the discussion resumed. So then the administration passed this order as the negotiation process is going on, and then this interim order came. Execution date is postponed. So actually, the official negotiation with the family, it started yesterday only with the help of Mr. Kanthapuram AP Aboobacker Musliyar, who is the religious leader from Kerala, who is a cleric, Muslim cleric from Kerala. So
Subhash,
who supported us?
Right. So, what I want to ask you, and then I'll go to Dr. Pasha, that you are saying that uh, the Muslim cleric you are naming has played a pivotal role in postponing the execution because he was in touch, he was talking to Mr. Mahdi's family, and it is at his behest that the execution has been postponed. Are you happy? Are you satisfied with the way the Indian authorities have pushed for this case? When I say Indian authorities, I mean the central government, because the center yesterday in the Supreme Court said that they have stretched their limits and it is not, I mean, they cannot go beyond what they have done. This is what the center said in the Supreme Court yesterday. So, has the center done enough to save Nimisha Priya, according to you?
So, in fact, I don't want to make any controversial comment now, but we are not satisfied with the center's intervention because we were expecting much more from the union government, as one Indian citizen is sentenced to death in Yemen. So, we were having a problem, logistical issue. Like since 2016, there is travel ban to Yemen. So we cannot go there directly. Nimisha's family or friends or Nimisha Priya Action Council office bearers cannot travel freely to Yemen and have the negotiation with the family. If this would have been any other country, any other Middle East country, or any other part of the world, we could have easily reached out to the victim's family and have had the negotiation with them. But here there is a travel ban. The socio-political situation in Yemen is not favorable for us. So that's why we were demanding the government to have the negotiation through the diplomatic channel. And we were simply requesting, we categorically stated from the day one that we don't want a single penny from the government exchequer. We are ready to raise the whatever amount is demanded by the Mehdi's family. The Nimisha Priya Action Council will be raising that as a crowd fund, and we don't want a single penny from the government exchequer. We were demanding, we were seeking the help for facilitating the negotiation with the victim's family. Yes, and yesterday the learned Attorney General has categorically stated before the Honorable Supreme Court as there are some limitation for the Union of India. That's why we were means relying on some other these private channels, or what you call some parallel channels, for having the negotiation, and which led to the means partial success of this mission.
Right. So you're saying it's a partial success and it has happened because of the back channel talks which have happened between the Muslim cleric and the probably Mr. Mahdi's family. Now, Mr. Pasha, I'll come to you. Yeah, what Subhasha said that they were expecting much more from the Indian government, but it is a partial success, which means that they are not satisfied with what the center has done. Do you see this as the central government's diplomatic failure as well to save Nimisha? And now, with the back channel talks, where the center could have been more proactive to save the Keralite nurse, the center falls short, but it is the other sources which are playing an active role in saving Nimisha. So, are we to assume that the central government has failed to save Nimisha?
Well, this case is nothing new. It has been going on for more than 5 years. The government was aware through various channels. The people who are fighting for our life, they have informed. There is correspondence between them, the forum, international forum, which is fighting for our case. And the Ministry of External Affairs was aware of this. You see, the ban on Indians traveling to this country can be simply waived by the Ministry of External Affairs, say citing exceptional case in this. So the travel ban can be easily waived by the MEA. It is well within its power. It is nothing international or they have to go to International Court of Justice or UN or any such thing. It is a sovereign right of the Indian government to permit the citizens who want to interact with this unfortunate lady who was mistreated and whose hard-earned earnings were siphoned off by this Talal Mehdi, and whose unfortunate death, which was not intentional by Nimisha. It happened, and this was known, and the government, central government, had multiple channels. Our relations with Oman are very good. Oman has substantial influence over the Shia Houthi group there. Then we have good relations with Iran. Iran also could have been one channel which we could have used over the Houthis. Then we have strategic relations with Saudi Arabia and UAE. although they are fighting the Houthis, but still they have contacts because many of their citizens also were involved in lesser issues, but they got it released. And also there are several UN agencies which are still working in Yemen, providing medical, humanitarian relief. All these NGOs and humanitarian agencies and diplomatic channels could have been used just to inform the Supreme Court that we have done everything possible and wash off their hands. It is a sensitive issue. It shows the indifference and utter callousness. I have no other word to describe. Because it is the duty. The government of India is, she is carrying the government of India passport, where the symbol status of the country is involved. And the kind of reports we got that she was tortured and her passport was seized, and she was not allowed to go out of the country to meet her children, young children, her husband, her family. Her mother is pleading there. For so long, for more than a year. This is a case, excellent case, where the MEA should have taken exceptional interest and tried to resolve and help these private citizens who are not seeking any financial help from the government, but just for requesting, pleading with the government to allow them to travel and negotiate with the family. It is heartbreaking to hear that only yesterday they were able to contact the family, which should have been done before. The government should have allowed these people to go and contact the deceased family and work out a deal, which could have been, all this undue publicity could have been saved, and she could have returned back long back. Yeah, Nilu.
So Subhash has got disconnected, but Sanjay, I'll come to you. What Professor Pasha has pointed out, that it seems that the government didn't try its best to save Nimisha, and now whatever breather she has got, if the execution has been postponed by a day, that has happened because of the back channel talks between a cleric in Kerala and Mr. Mahdi, Talal Mahdi's family. So this is something where the government seems to have failed. What is your sense? Has the government really failed as far as the diplomatic channels are concerned, and do we call it a diplomatic failure?
I think what Dr. Pasha said by and large shows how poorly government of India has acted. It's been a pity that they are so lackadaisical about ordinary lives. They would probably bend backwards to please people who are of some substance or some power. But anyways, it's good that uh, Nisha has got relief now. But having said that, one has to look at how the state of many Indians who are incarcerated in various Middle East jails. Although here in Yemen, which is in a very complicated situation, Iran came to our rescue. In fact, Iran also spoke with. I'm differing here with Professor Pasha that he said Iran didn't do anything. The foreign minister also pleaded that Nisha should be let go. But the fact is that there is great amount of misery with the Indians who are working abroad. About 10,000 are incarcerated, about 49 on death row, and I don't think Indian government of India has any plan how to deal with them. They are all. I'm not sure what they will do as the cases keep coming up one after another. Nisha has been hanging fire for last so many years, and they only came in when the date of hanging came so close. Now she's got relief indefinitely, but one doesn't know whether she'll be still in the death row or she'll be taken off, or what is really going to be the status. I think the Vakil Sahib would be in a position to tell us about that. But it's a very pitiable state where you are never sure about whether the government of India is really going to come to your rescue or not. There should be, I think, greater strategy with more Indians working abroad, more Indians running into problems because there is a misinterpretation of law. There is a misinterpretation on the part of even the local people how they treat us, especially the poor people. They treat them most shabbily. I've seen that in UAE. I've seen that in Dubai. Most of the Indians who are working there are Pakistanis or South Asians or you name whatever. Even in Qatar, for that matter, the number of people who were treated very badly belonged to Nepal during the time when they were preparing for the World Cup. And there was nothing that the local governments can do because they give big money, and there is employment also which is being offered to them. So there is nothing that the ordinary South Asians can do, and they come to grief primarily because the government has withdrawn their hands. They can't do very much. They end up complaining in international forums, but that is about all.
So I'll come to Subhash. Subhash, as far as the future of Nimisha Priya's case is concerned, definitely it's a sigh of relief that her execution has been postponed. But the danger still lurks around Nimisha Priya. Now, how do you think, as a lawyer, you're going to work this around, where you know that the center is not very helpful? It can do much, but it has not. What do you think are the reasons why the Indian government has stopped short from putting out its best leg forward? You'll have to unmute. Subhash, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, please. Yeah.
So, am I audible now?
Yes. Go
Yeah.
ahead, please.
Yeah, actually, I joined with the Save Nimisha Priya International Action Council in 2021, which is formed in 2020 when the news came regarding Nimisha's execution. The sentence to death is published in some news channels. And since in the last 4 or 5 years, we are working hardly to save Miss Nimisha Priya. And unfortunately, we have noticed, and as a migrant right activist, migrant right lawyer, I have noticed that the insensitivity of our officials, especially the MEA officials, the officials working in the embassies, the missions, they are very much insensitive. It means I can point out a large number of incidents, and in the recent past, one Indian migrant from UP, she has been unfortunately executed by the UAE authorities. And later only, the Indian government is aware of this thing, and the Indian embassy is offering her family to bring her dead body back. So this is the sensitivity of our officials. So if India is not informed officially regarding the execution of this poor lady, then India could have been agitated internationally or in the means some diplomatic channel. But I have not seen any kind of protest from the Indian government or the Ministry of External Affairs. So that means the Indian government was informed, and they were not informed the family. They did not inform the family regarding the date of execution or something like that, or they did not intervene to this issue. So this is the issue of poor migrants like Nimisha Priya and the migrant from UP. When the issue if regarding some senior officials, like we have noticed how the Indian government interfered in the issue of this 9 Navy officers or some Indian
Yes.
officers who were sentenced to death in Qatar. So immediately the government, the Ministry of External Affairs interfered, and they were brought back to India alive. So this is a matter of political willpower, and who is going to be sentenced, who is going to be convicted, who is going to be means executed.
No, but
And if this,
Subhash, are you saying that when it comes to protecting these migrants, is the Indian government selective, like it was in the case of sailors? It was proactive, but when it comes to a person like Nimisha Priya, there could be any bias on the minds of the government, and which is why the government is selective about it.
we are speaking from our experience, Nilu. We are speaking from our own experience. We have sent large number of mails, emails, letters to the Ministry of External Affairs, and till date we have not received a single reply from the Ministry of External Affairs regarding this Nimisha Priya's case. And we approached the MEA for travel permission, as Mr. Pasha said. We approached the government officials for the permission of mother first. They denied that. Then I had to file 3 repetitions before Delhi High Court for getting the permission. And the Union of India vehemently argued the matter. They opposed the travel permission or plea in the High Court. And then High Court directed the government to grant the permission. So we got the permission last year, and we sent mother to meet Nimisha in Yemen. So this is the approach. So we are talking from our own experience, the experience learned from Miss Nimisha Priya's case. So obviously we feel that when it's a matter of the poor migrants, the simple migrants who are working in the different parts of the world, the officials are not sensitized. And when it comes for the some political class or some other class, then they are proactively means interfering to these issues. So
But
this
as a
should
lawyer,
be
Subhash, Subhash, as a lawyer, you can always sense, as to what could happen or what is the possibility. Now, a breather of 1 day because the execution has been postponed, but are you hopeful? Does it bring you enough hope that you can save Nimisha, you can bring back Nimisha to the country? Are you hopeful, or you're really losing out? Of course, you've got a breather of 1 day because of her
No,
execution has been postponed. Yes.
yes, Nidu, we are 100% optimistic. We are 100% hopeful. We can bring back Nimisha by negotiations. Now the negotiation is going on the right path, and we got a proper channel. We opened a proper channel to get in touch with the victim's family. Now they are on
No,
board.
but this
They are
channel
coming to the
through the
negotiation.
this channel. No, but when you're saying you got in touch with a proper channel, this channel, of course, is a Muslim cleric who's talking to Mr. Mahdi's family. But when it comes to the official talks between Yemeni authorities and the Indian government, that is not happening. So, is that a proper channel, you would say?
No, proper channel means for us, the Nimisha Priya International Action Council, that is the proper channel, because the Indian government, they washed their hands. They said we don't have any.
Or
I mean, we have nothing to do much more in this matter, and so now we have opened our own channel, and for us, the Nimisha Priya Action Council, that is the proper channel now, and we will be leading through this channel. We will be heading through this channel, and we will explore all the possibility to save the life of Miss Nimisha Priya, and hopefully the family will agree to our plea. We are means expressing our unconditional apology to the people of Yemen, unconditional apology to the family of Mr. Mehdi, and we are ready to pay the whatever amount is demanded by the family of Mehdi as blood money. And the same Nimisha Priya International Action Council, we can raise that as a crowd fund, as you have seen in some other case also, the case of Mr. Rahim, who is sentenced to death in Saudi. The Kerala society has raised around 36 crore rupees within 2-3 days. So we are hopeful. We are getting the support from many prominent business persons, prominent individuals, and some groups also, organizations, Indian diasporas. So through the support of all these, we are hopeful we can save the life of Miss Nimisha Priya by paying blood money.
So we all hope and pray that she's saved. But I'll come for the concluding comments to Professor Pasha and Sanjay. Professor Pasha, to you. Now, what would you really say are the big takeaways from this case? Any lessons which the Indian government should be learning from this particular case?
You see, the most obvious case is we have not recognized the Taliban government in Afghanistan. But the foreign secretary and other ME officials meet, whether it is directly there in their country or Dubai or elsewhere. So this is also a similar case. The government says we don't recognize the Houthis, mainly this is the government's problem is Houthis are attacking Israel and their ships, because this government has close relations with Netanyahu and Israel. They think that these Houthis are terrorists and they are untouchables. When it comes to their interest in Afghanistan, whether it is Pakistan or Iran, they are willing to do business with them and other groups. So in that way, you see, the Americans also negotiated a ceasefire with the Houthis, because the Houthis were firing drones and missiles at their ships in the Red Sea. So a superpower like America can negotiate with the Houthis. What is wrong in the government of India sending one official? They didn't have to recognize the Houthi government. They had to just send one official, either from Saudi Arabia or Oman, to facilitate the talks, which, as Subhash says, only began recently. It could have gone there. You see, I don't know what Sanjay is saying. The Iranian foreign minister was here in Delhi. Did the government use its influence with the Iranian foreign minister to plead her case? I don't think so. There's nothing in the case or in Iranian press. If Jaishankar has talked about this case recently, it is too late. The MEA was told, as Subhas is narrating, so many emails went unanswered. Why this deafening silence on the part of the government? When they could have done everything possible, they should have done. And this lame excuse that they have done everything possible to save our life before the Supreme Court, the highest court, I think is unpardonable. I mean, this is not only create ill will against the government in Kerala, which is already under strain, center union state relations. But it will also wipe out whatever little the BJP is trying to make inroads in Kerala, because people of Kerala or general Indians, a lot of medical students, doctors, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, scientists, all over. It is not a Kerala issue or India issue, it is a global issue. And India's image is at stake. India, MEA should have taken note of this. All the world channels, the press is reporting on this. We claim that we are a global leader and Vishwa Guru and all these things. But when it comes to your own citizen, who is innocent in my eyes, because she was tortured, her money, hard-earned money was siphoned off, and he seized her passport and ill-treated. Like the Americans who sent handcuffed Indians and military plane. This foreign minister had the audacity to tell the parliament that it is American law blindly. When countries like Colombia and Venezuela, Brazil, Nepal, they refuse to acknowledge, receive the citizens in chains for such a long flight. So in that way, this government has proved its indifferent attitude. And I've been to many Gulf countries. For long, even for small offenses, people are jailed there, traffic offenses and suspicions, so on and so forth. Many languish and die in Gulf countries, and the ME officials are so insensitive. The maid servants, they are raped and killed and tortured, but they are left to fend for themselves. It's horrible stories. In Qatar, many have died because of this overworking and torture and simple exploitation. In the heat of 50 degrees plus, they are forced to work, and they can't change, they cannot come back there. The royal families there seize the passport. They don't give people. I asked one royal family member in Bahrain, why do you seize the passport? We hear only about some companies and all. They said, Indians, plumbers, electricians, and other people only know where all the underground pipelines, the electrical cables, they go. If we give the passport, they will go away and we cannot repair, and our sewage system will get blocked, our electrical system will collapse. So this is the excuse they give. Seizing the passport is the most humiliating thing. The government of India should do something very drastic to prevent, innocent people. Imagine a person's carpenter's passport is seized, and his mother dies or something emergency happens in the family. If he's not allowed to come for the last rites, it is shameful. The embassy doesn't help. They wash their hands that, you have committed a crime, you have committed the wrong. In Nimisha's case, they wash up and they try to mislead the public, and it becomes an international issue.
Right. All right. So I'll come for the concluding comments to Sanjay. Sanjay, what would you really say towards the end? A lot of takeaways as to how the Indian citizens or the migrants, in fact, are treated by the central government. There should be some priority areas. Ultimately, it is our citizen who is facing all this kind of an harassment. But the Indian government says that we could, whatever we could do, we have done. And it has really washed its hands off in a way as far as Nimisha's case is concerned. And is what Subhash has clearly pointed out, that it is now between Nimisha's family and Mr. Madi's family how they negotiate, and they've got hold of a proper channel, which is that Muslim cleric in Kerala. But what does it really show on the part of the center? What would you really say? Because it's just not about Nimisha. This now raises a lot of doubts about the migrants who are staying. How safe will they be? Will the Indian government at all stand by them?
It is actually a manifestation of India's very flawed foreign policy. As Dr. Pasha said very eloquently, it is primarily because we are afraid to antagonize Israel and US, which is at war with the Houthis. And Houthis are the ones who are controlling Sana'a, where this lady is holed up and she's going through this period of misery. So when you're so sensitive that you don't antagonize Israel, even if your citizen is involved, then you don't do ever enough. There is a claim that you have done enough, but I don't think you did enough. And this entire business of trying to show that you were raising blood money and all that, this is all, as the lawyer friend has just said, they were willing to do it on their own through crowdfunding and whatever. So I think there is a lot of soul searching that people should do, that whether they can really bank on the government of India. I'm sure they can't. And coming back to the Iranian thing, there is a claim by the Iranian Foreign Minister Aranchi that there was some suggestion that he requested the Houthis to give up the lady. So it will appear in today's Hindu also. So there may be some doubt about whether it was done forcefully or not, but I think there is some suggestion of intervention. Thank
Sanjay,
you.
it came a day late in the whole situation. The government knew when foreign
Yes.
minister came, they should have raised it recently, if not before.
Yes, yes, Sanjay, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm through. I mean, it's a concluding
Okay.
comment. I told that it's a flawed
Right.
foreign policy.
Right. So we just hope and pray for Nimisha Priya that she doesn't have to go through all this agony and whatever back channel talks are happening between Mr. Madi's family and Nimisha Priya's family. At the end of the day, we are all hoping and praying that Nimisha should be saved from the gallows and the kind of torture and harassment she has to go through. And it's very, very unfortunate that the Indian government doesn't seem to have stood by Nimisha Priya the way it should have been. And what are the reasons? The government needs to answer, and I'm sure people will continue to question the government on this particular issue. Thank you so much, Subhash Chandran. We wish you good luck, and we all hope that you're able to bring back Nimisha Priya all safe and sound. Professor Pasha, thank you, and Sanjay, thank you very much for joining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.